Cowboy unleashes his badass secret weapon on Muslims who try to build mosque next to his farm. Texas' motto is friendship, and on average I think the state lives up to that name. You don't have to use a lifeline if you're broken down in Texas. Chances are if you stand around looking confused for a few minutes, some redneck will show up and lend a hand, just the pleasure of your conversation and a hearty handshake. After all, if you can't trust your neighbors, who can you trust? There is a limit to that friendliness though. Anyone, anywhere who thinks that they're going to tell a Texan what they can and can't do on their own property, within legal bounds of course, is likely to meet a serious side of their favorite Texan that they might not have otherwise known existed. It's a party of the very DNA of those in the Lone Star State to protect their rights as fiercely as any mother bear protects her cubs. This is likely because they've learned the hard way that if you give an inch, sometimes you lose a mile, and their ability to protect their actual children could be taken away. That is insane gun restrictions that only the law-abiding will follow. Texans as a whole, like the rest of Americans, aren't dumb either. We've all discovered that lawmakers will sometimes, lately, a lot of times, fail us, and we need to take things into our hands in a non-traditional way. This was displayed in a beautifully ingenious way by a legacy Texas farmer whose neighbors tried to force their will on him. This farmer, whose farm has been in his family for hundreds of years, was lucky enough to get some Muslim neighbors who tried to force him to remove the pigs from his farm because they don't like them. Keep in mind that they knew about the pigs before they purchased the property. They just planned all along to try and bully their new neighbor, I suppose. Here's a little more on the story from Fox News. No, we're not making this up, it's really happening. Via Fox News. Katy, Texas, when an Islamic group moved in next door and told Craig Baker the pigs on his family's 200-year-old Texas farm had to go, he and his swine decided to fight back. In protest of being asked to move, Davis began staging elaborate pig races on Friday afternoons, one of the Islamic world's most holy days. Craig's neighbors, the Katy Islamic Association, who have plans to build a mosque and community compound on the 11 acres they purchased alongside his farm. Baker, 46, a stone shop owner whose family has owned the farm for 2 centuries, says the association knew about the pigs when they bought the property, and it's not fair for them to ask him to get rid of the animals. I am just defending my rights and my property, Baker said. They totally disrespected me and my family. Initially Baker and Kamal Fout, the president of the 500-member Islamic Association, were on good terms. But things turned sour at the town meeting, where Baker says Fout insulted him by asking him to move. That was the last straw for me, calling me a liar, especially in front of 300 or 400 people at that meeting, Baker said. Mr. Fout said it would be a good idea if I considered packing up my stuff and moving out further to the country. Fout says his group has to construct the mosque because the others in the Houston area don't provide the kind of environment they are looking for. We feel that these mosques are not fulfilling the needs of the community as they should. So, our vision is to have an integrated facility, said Fout. He said the pig races no longer bother him or his members, and they're going ahead with their plans to construct the mosque. Muslims do not hate pigs, he added, they just don't eat them. Neighbors have been showing support for Baker's races, even coming in the pouring rain and giving donations ranging from $100 to $1,000 to sponsor the events. Last Friday, more than 100 attended the pig races, and many say they don't want the mosque either. Some fear it will appear out of place and hurt their property values.